Hello and welcome back. This is the sixth video in the Flow Certified Professional online training series. This is the introduction part D, and this we're looking at the four lenses. We've looked at the individual, team, and product lenses in the previous videos. Now we're going to look at the organizational lens and how to step into organizational flow. So in this video, we're going to look a little bit at Agile portfolio management, how to create duplicatable results and alignment throughout your organization, the pursuit of excellence at the organizational level, and we're going to look at an organizational flow quote. As with the other three lenses, we're in the fourth lens now, you need to be consistent throughout your organization. You need to do things that are duplicatable, sustainable, and you need to definitely pursue organizational excellence and transformation. I think I'm going to stop right here and talk a little bit about transformation, that there's a difference between rollout, scaling, and scaling is very much in the program management lens. Okay, and so program management again is included in the product lens. And when you're looking at transformation, it includes programs and portfolios, and it's at that portfolio level that you begin to drive your transformations. Agile purists will be going nuts right about now with what I just said. That's okay. I'm very pragmatic, and I believe I'm dealing with the reality that most organizations are working with. If you are able to step into flow as an entire organization, the increase in the value of the organization and the wow delivered to your customers is going to be amazing. It's going to be remarkable. People are going to go, what on earth did they do? And here's where it gets tricky. And this is where it really requires leadership, especially in Agile portfolio management. For me, it should almost be Agile portfolio leadership. Okay? And this requires people who are able to look at the big picture and figure out what delivers the most valuable and thus right items first. This can be a painful process for a lot of companies. One of the companies with which I worked, we went through 6 months of prioritizing. They had 250 projects in the queue ready to go. They had the capacity to do 58 a year. So they had 4.5 years of work. The teams were overwhelmed. They were demoralized. It was not a happy situation for anybody. No one was happy. So what I did was work with the transformation team and all of the board level executives to say, look, guys, give us your top 25. And there were 4 programs in the portfolio. Give us your top 25 projects. We'll deliver 100 in the next 15 months. And just that, we called it the cutting room floor exercise because it's like you're editing the film and all the film is hitting the floor. Just going through that, the immediate impact, even though it took 6 months and to get everybody aligned and on board, the immediate impact to the teams was just like, oh, finally an adult has entered the room, and we're able to identify what are the true top items for these executives, not just, hey, we need everything. That is just so lame. There's no excuse for that anymore today. I still hear it, and I just go, well, you can want everything, but you're not going to get everything. It's just that simple. So you have to assist the organization as the Agile portfolio leader. You have to assist the organization to choose the right things, and you have to choose the items that give the highest return to all stakeholders. And if you have four key stakeholders up there at the top at the C level, that's your audience as the portfolio leader. And you need to shape and create the environment for the teams, because the immediate impact of the teams of going from 250 to 100, all the teams just went, oh, finally. And people started to go, okay, we can do these 100 in the next 15 months, but 250, all that was doing was just wearing people down. It's like the old management idea. Well, I got to ask for everything because I know if I don't ask for it now, I'll never get it. And over time, over the next 2.5 years, we delivered not just the 260 items that were on the list. It was actually 260 or 262, something like that. Not only did we deliver those 260, we ended up delivering over 290 in those next 2.5 years. And each year the teams were increasing their ability to deliver high quality work for all those projects. So it's possible to do, and by doing that, we were able to save the company an entire year, over a year's worth of budget for 250 people. You do the math, but that's over $20 million worth of value add, tangible value add to the company. And I'm not the only one that's been doing this. I've got over 200 people that are certified in Flow worldwide, with probably 4,000 or 5,000 that have been trained in the principles of Flow without being certified. And they are applying what we do. They're duplicating it, and they're able to do the same thing. And I find that amazing and encouraging, and you can do this too. So when you can do the duplicatable results up in that organization box, the other three boxes fall into place. Okay. And so you can't touch one of these boxes without touching the other three. That's also something that's missed. Okay. I'm going to say this again because it's so important. You cannot touch one of the four lenses without impacting the other three. So if you think you can just do the transformation at the organizational level without touching product and team and individual, you've already lost. Okay, you don't have the right mindset to understand it goes way beyond what you think it is. Okay, and so we use vision, mission, purpose, strategies, values, and attitudes, as well as goals and objectives. And you'll notice again, it's going from abstract to concrete in this flow. Okay, sometimes I'd go from concrete to abstract. This time I'm going from abstract down to concrete. When you do this and you get everything linked up correctly and you get the teams aligned, it increases engagement and satisfaction. Will you get everybody with? Probably not. You don't have to get everybody with. We only got a few teams up what we call the aha curve into the other areas. Just getting a few teams moving up into and stepping into flow doubled the velocity of the organization and their ability to deliver valuable product, service, and result to the organization. These are going to be the key leadership tools by lens. Okay. On the individual, we're trying to help the individual achieve autonomy, mastery, and purpose. And for those of you who have read Daniel Pink, you'll recognize that, because money isn't the only thing that drives people. And so we also use the 4R model with the right truth, right values, attitudes, right actions, and right results, with the individual's vision and the spirit that they bring to the team. Okay, because your team spirit is usually not just the sum of the individual spirit, but it's like an exponential of all of the individuals together. For the Agile team facilitation Scrum Masters at the team level, we use the 4D model with define, distill, deliver, and drive. And that's mirror image of the 4R model. And so it's applying the individual concepts to the teams and to the products. And you can apply it to the whole organization. You can also use the 4D model with the individual, but this is the primary tool for the team. What's the team's vision? And do we have the right definitions? Have we distilled agreement within inside the team? And is the team confident that they can deliver? And then driving, we do that through retrospectives and continuous improvement. Okay. And it's the same for products. Do we have the product definitions done correctly? Have we distilled agreement? So when we're talking about distilling agreement here, it's with all the stakeholders and the customer. Is the customer looking at this going, oh yeah, this is good? Or is the customer looking at it going, what on earth? I didn't say that. And so these two become incredibly important for your products. And you're not going to be able to deliver your products without having properly functioning teams. That's simple. And driving becomes the product lifecycle management, where, you know, cradle to grave, where you come up with the idea and you do concept, create, deploy, and you're going to get that product out there. And all products go through life cycles, and those tend to be longer life cycles than what a project is. A project or a team development can be very small part or short part of the overall product development life cycle. And you'll notice that we have Agile coaches here as the primary roles of who's doing what in these boxes. And the product owner is also actively involved with the team. And we're also looking at this from a coaching and a flow perspective. And then at the highest level here, we've got enterprise flow coaching or enterprise agile coaching. And this is where you understand how to balance agile coaching and management consulting. And I think this is one of the areas where most agilists just fall on the sword and die, because they don't understand what management consulting is all about, and they consider management the heart of all evil, when in fact it's not. And they need to grow up and stop saying, oh, managers, they're the worst thing that's ever happened for a company. And again, this is balancing innovation with operational excellence. And included with this is what we would call anticipatory vision, along with creative destruction. And we're going to get into that in another video. We also use the flow friction analysis. So if you don't have for your team a clear vision, you're going to have anarchy. If you don't have the right people, you're definitely going to have a lot of anxious people on the team. If you don't have right definitions, definitely going to get confusion. If you haven't distilled agreement, you will get politics. That's one of the things that causes politics. If you're not able to deliver, it's going to be chaos. I had a team where, or a company where their idea of delivery was lock all 50 developers in a room for the weekend, yell at each other for 2 or 3 days while trying to get the product out, release the product, and then spend the next 3 months fixing all the bugs that were created because of that process, and then repeat and rinse and repeat and do the exact same thing over again 3 months later. And that was their release cycle. It was total chaos. And then lastly, if you're not able to drive and continuously improve, you're going to end up with division. And in English, division literally, if you look at it from an etymological perspective, it means two visions. And so that's not necessarily a bad thing, but in this case, for what we're talking about here, division within the team will sink the team. The team has all got to be pulling the same direction. It's like the idea of swing. If you get somebody that's out of sync, it's going to turn the boat, it's going to break, slow the boat down, And so it's really important to be able to use tools like these. And we'll get into all of these areas in the pursuit of excellence, and we'll be using these pictures again later. This is, what our moms expect us to be. This is what we actually do, where we have to, the plate spinner at the circus. This is what our bosses expect from us. And by the time you get to enterprise flow coaching, basically you have to be a superhero. So put your cape on and get ready to deliver truly remarkable results. In addition to product development, team and individual flow states, there's also flow states that apply to the enterprise. And Stephen Kotler, again, just nails it here. There's also a collective version of a flow state known as group flow. That is what happens when a bunch of people enter the zone together. And we're going to talk about this in some of the videos further down. So, we've talked about Agile portfolio management, duplicatable results and getting everything aligned, pursuing excellence. You're going to hear me talking about that a lot. So at least here in the beginning, I'm probably a broken record. And then the organizational flow that you need to be able to step into. Now, does your organization have a disconnect between leadership and its teams? How will you as the leader repair that gap? And so we're going to talk about the tools that we use to identify that and how to do that. But you as the leader need to begin to think about, how would I fix that gap? Because I know the gap exists. It exists in every company. And then how do you currently prioritize large quantities of work? Are you doing it ad hoc? And are you doing it according to the value that will be delivered to the organization? So there's a lot to look at here, and we'll be going through that in the additional training videos.